Welcome back to the kitchen at Andersen Acres. Today we're going to make a cinnamon honey butter. This is fantastic on toast, excellent on French toast, and even better on waffles and pancakes. And it's so easy to make. So we're starting with some butter. This is half a cup of butter that I made myself, so this is not store-bought butter. You can use store-bought butter. It's fine. You just need half a cup of butter. And in my case, my butter's a little bit firm because I literally just finished washing it in cold water. So it is pretty firm still, but that's okay. It doesn't matter how firm it is. I will post a link to the video where I show you how to make your own butter out of cream if you are interested in that. But there is no reason you can't use your store-bought butters as well. So you can use either or. This just happens to be butter that I made myself. So we have to start adding our ingredients. So what you want to do is take your fork and smash your butter up a bit just so that it's not in a lump, okay? You want to be able to get in there with your ingredients. So kind of smash it up with a fork, pull it away from itself so you have a well in the middle. First ingredient that we are going to add. We're going to add 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Okay, really easy ingredient. Most of us have this. Fun fact, if you don't have powdered sugar but you have regular old white sugar, throw it in a blender or your magic bullet or whatever and blend it up a bit. It'll turn into powdered sugar because that's literally what powdered sugar is. It's just regular sugar put in a blender. So we are going to mix that, and I really should have used a bigger bowl, but I want to use a bigger bowl because this will fit in this bowl once it's mixed. But I will grab a larger bowl just for mixing, but I really want to store it in my little blue bowl. So it's annoying to dirty a second bowl, but what are you going to do? So we're just going to transfer it. And I knew that was going to happen. I literally knew that was going to happen. And I was just kind of hoping that it wouldn't. But I know that this bowl is terrible for mixing. So we're just going to dump that in there. You know, you always hope. You always hope. You're always like, you know, let's just try. No, it doesn't work. So smash that up. Let's smash that up. Smash your butter up. So can you use a mixer for this? You can, but we're not whipping the butter, so I don't want to. If you want to whip your butter, you can absolutely use a mixer, but I'm not whipping it. Okay, there we go. So that's mostly mixed in. You don't have to thoroughly mix after each addition, but you do have to mix pretty well. So just make sure you're turning your butter over, and do use a fork, don't use a spoon. The tines of the fork help push the butter and mix things in nice and properly. Okay, next ingredient. We are going to add what amounts to about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. You don't need very much salt, but you do need some. The problem without adding salt is your flavors won't unify. So you won't taste the salt. What you will end up with is a butter that's kind of bland if there's no salt at all. If you are using a salted butter from the store or a salted butter that you made, you can probably leave that out. But because I just made this butter and I hadn't added any salt or anything, I do want to add the salt. Okay, now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, powdered cinnamon. It has to be powdered, has to be very fine, or it won't mix into your butter properly. Okay, so make sure that is powdered and just mix that up. So we're not going to thoroughly mix this before adding the next 2 ingredients because the next 2 ingredients are wet and they kind of benefit from that powder. We're going to add a splash of vanilla extract, but you don't want any more than ½ a teaspoon. So you can measure that, yes, if you need to, but very, very little vanilla. Okay, you need vanilla. It enhances the flavor of this butter. What you don't want is too much. Too much is just not going to help you very much. Okay, too much and it will overpower your butter. And instead of tasting your cinnamon and your honey, you're going to just have a mouthful of vanilla. So careful with that vanilla. No more than half a teaspoon. A little bit less is even better. Okay, careful with the vanilla. Okay. Now our final ingredient is the honey. Okay, you want about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of honey. Depends how much you like the honey. So I happen to really like honey, so I overdid my honey a little bit. But don't overdo it too much. If you hit 2 tablespoons, it might be too much honey. Okay, now we're just going to mix that in until it is completely incorporated. And I'm going to not make you watch because that'll take about 3 or 4 minutes. And you don't need to watch 3 or 4 minutes of me mixing butter. But we will come back in a moment as soon as it is completely mixed. All right, our butter is nicely mixed. Now I'm just going to take a silicone spatula and scrape off that fork. And then I'm going to transfer it back into the bowl I wanted to use. Yeah, we ended up dirtying 2 bowls. That's just the way it goes. So after a couple of minutes of mixing, your butter should be fairly pliable because you've added ingredients, first of all, like the honey that help break it down. And you've been mixing it, which adds a little bit of heat. So you should have, get off the spoon, you should have something that is easily workable. All right, so I am going to stick that in there. There we go. And you can sprinkle a little bit of sugar on top if you like. I'm not going to, but you absolutely can. I like to just get it nicely in my bowl. I always test a little bit, see if you like the flavor. I do indeed. That's really good. So this is an excellent recipe. Great on pancakes. Great in the morning on your waffles and your French toast. Or even just on a little toast or a bagel. Just as a little morning snack. Okay? That is really good. I'm going to be using that right away because that is absolutely delicious. That's about it for us tonight in the kitchen. Good luck making your own cinnamon honey butter. We'll see you tomorrow.